episode 6. We always do that.
It's tradition.
Walking down memory lane since episode 1 to now. We're always being an American idiot. What? Wait, what?
American
What am I talking about? Okay, welcome back to the Talk of the House. Last topic was about equality and equity.
Yeah.
But now it's gonna be more sensitive, the topics.
Oh Lord.
And it's something that it's hard to talk about, but I think it's something we have to talk about. You guys already know from the title.
Yes,
we are going to talk about we're going to discuss about depression and the things people do when they are pushed to the edge. Yeah. So before that, how you guys feel?
About what?
About, I mean, in life lah. How do you feel about being depressed?
How do you feel about being depressed?
Oh, you know, life is short. What am I talking about here?
Ding.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling pretty good.
How was the week?
You know, my good's pretty weak. Yes.
My good's pretty weak. Yeah.
Indeed. It's been a bit tiring, but you know, we got here and we got to the end of the week, so we can relax. Finally, the weekends are coming.
Came all the way from home just to do a stupid assignment.
Spent a whole day here. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, don't call it a stupid assignment.
Okay, I mean you like it.
I like it.
What about you, Moon?
Me?
How's the week?
Tiring, actually. To be very honest, very tiring. Because every single night, I've been layering sounds after I finish my work. So like, yeah.
So the assignment.
It's an assignment, guys.
So the assignment sucks,
the assignment.
basically.
You guys work.
Hey, I love the assignment. That's why I do it every night.
Alright, fine.
Oh, every night.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys are wondering why there's only 3 people here, because one of us, Paitao. No, I'm kidding. She has another schedule. See, she's a bit busy.
Yeah, we scheduled ourselves to record at 1, but now it's 4 o'clock.
Let's blame these 2 people. One of them who Paitao and the other one who's exactly right here.
Hey, it's the assignment's fault, alright?
Don't blame the assignment.
Hey, yeah, you had 3 weeks to do it.
Everyone does it last minute. Come on.
Excuses.
No.
Alright.
Later intern how? Huh?
Intern live sound.
I was about to say intern live sound.
Okay, let's start with the topic. Let's start talking about depression.
What is depression?
Come on, not everyone's
An immense state of sadness.
What?
Immense state of sadness.
A mad state of sadness?
Immense.
Oh, sorry. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you guys something. Have you guys ever experienced like depression, like literal depression, not just being sad about not getting the grade that you want? You know.
Does breaking up? I don't think so, right?
I guess
like
depression in a way where it affects you for like months, you know.
Then that kind of, I guess.
Adolf Hitler.
Kind of.
Like kind of. Like I don't know, man.
What?
Was that English?
That was Moonlish.
Explains a lot.
Hey, I don't think I had depression. If I had depression, if you guys think like after a breakup and then you cannot like get over something and then you're still sad about it, but it's like extremely sad about it, then I don't know if that's called depression.
It's just being sad about it.
Yeah, it's like
sad for a while.
Okay then.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't have a depression.
Such a happy life, you know?
Hey, stop! I am not the perfect person. Oh my gosh.
More perfect than us.
You know what I realized about me? Every single topic we're talking about, right? I have nothing in my mind. I'm like, what is happening? Why am I the only one not experiencing
I think ever since
this thing?
episode 2.
Yeah.
I've been listening back to our old podcast, our previous episodes. And ever since episode 2 up to now, you're like, actually, I don't know. Maybe I actually don't
Doesn't
know.
apply to me.
It's
I'm
true.
sheltered.
Don't. This
She's gonna kill us.
I will. I will haunt you with my soundtrack of the project.
Not that scream again.
Which one, the man one or the girl one?
The man.
Okay, how about you, Asyraf?
Alright.
Have you ever felt depressed?
Personally, no lah. End of
Such a
story.
good life, huh?
Hey. I think these days there's a lot of.
So sheltered, huh?
Hey,
Wow.
that's her, okay.
I'm joking.
Hey.
No, she's just leading a happy life. You're just
No,
sheltered by your.
no matter how happy I am, there's always like this sad part of my life, which I don't show to people. Obviously,
I get
why would you show that to people when people want to be happy? Exactly. Okay, go on.
Alright. So like my parents don't allow me to be depressed. So I'm supposed to focus on my studies right now, and that's what I'm doing lah. No time
So
to be
if
sad
they
lah.
see you depressed, they kick you.
Yeah, of course lah.
Making you more depressed.
It's a cycle.
Don't get how that works, but still.
Yeah, I find that these days there's a lot of like people. Depression has become mainstream basically. You know, you get all these memes and all on the internet. Almost everyone's depressed, but we don't really know what the definition of being depressed
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Like
So what?
That's why the three of us can't even define what depression
Yeah.
can.
Shall we go find Google Translate?
No?
Google Translate?
Google Translate?
Google-
To what? Chinese?
Translate.
I mean, a Google definition of depression. So what is it?
I don't know. I didn't Google that.
I mean, you have a laptop right in front of you. You can Google anything.
If I type the... Okay, let me search it on the phone, alright?
Alright.
Okay.
What is depression? Yeah, I'm not going to say what. I'm just going to say
Ooh,
depression.
did you hear the crack?
It's a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. Which is pretty much being said.
Well,
Fortunately, it is also treatable, and it causes feelings of sadness and or a loss of interest in activities once enjoyed.
that's
So, like,
depression.
When you're depressed, like let's say you like volleyball, and then shit happens and you get so depressed, and then you just don't have that interest in volleyball anymore. I guess that's the side effect of it.
Is it like a trauma?
I
a
guess
traumatic
it could-
experience
yeah.
of something. Then that's why you became depressed.
I guess I can relate to that when it comes to performing, because back then when I performed, I didn't really have that not a wrong. I don't have that wrong applause. People don't like when they walk by. They just walk by me, like walk by, like you know.
Well,
It's like not a like whenever I perform as a member, it's like how am I going to say this? It doesn't really impact people, you know. So I mean, like, why am I performing the first day? It's like I got depressed about it, and I just lost interest. Like I said from previous week, I think I told you guys that I lost interest in performing and singing. That's exactly why I lost singing, because I got depressed about not making a difference, not being able to improve, and I just lost the interest in it. So I guess that's one of the things I've been depressed about. But yeah.
so you're just like not motivated to improve yourself in like performing.
There's no source of motivation or inspiration back then, at least. Now I don't know, because I don't really perform anymore. I don't really sing anymore. I just sing like some idiot in the class, like, you know. But yeah,
So you just sing for fun.
yeah, I sing for fun. I don't take it seriously anymore. So yeah, I guess that's one of my experiences, you know. But the thing is, what do you think might cause depression? Like that's like how to say what factors might affect a person to feel depressed?
I have no idea.
That's a deep question.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
very,
that's-
very good question. And okay, maybe not causes of depression.
Yeah.
It's to me like in my head right now. It's more like you're you go through depression because you experience something that, like a really negative experience lah, like a really traumatic experience. That's why that's why you go through depression for months, and it's like you can't get over that bad experience, and you need something to motivate you to get out of that lane. Yeah. So that's what I think that's what maybe one of the cause of depression. Yeah, that's what I think.
Right. For me, I feel like, and for some reason, a lot of friends around me are depressed. And a common thing I found is that a lot of them are depressed for no reason. Like, they wake up one day and they're just sad. And they just stuck like that for
Must
the
be
rest
the
of their life.
hormones.
Actually,
Maybe it's my presence lah, but...
Hey, don't say that.
Damn, don't say that.
Don't
Come
say
on.
that.
But yeah, so I feel like it's very hard to define lah. I don't know if it's necessarily trauma. Like one friend, he actually got diagnosed with depression from after having just woken up from it one day, and it's weird because you see him and he's like the class clown. He's like this funny guy, but you don't know what's happening deep down, you know. And like when I actually spoke to him about that, I was quite surprised. Like, didn't expect him of all people to be depressed. So it's like, I think it can happen to anyone.
If it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, like, you shouldn't underestimate it lah. I feel like in our society it's very underlooked. Like, especially Singapore, I feel like there's not much notice for depression and all. Like, you know, people, you know how like when you get depressed, people just say, don't be sad lah, just smile lah, just be happy lah.
Like you fake your own smile, is that it?
Yeah. And that's not a very healthy habit lah, I think.
Like you have to be outspoken.
Yeah.
If you're happy, if you want to show that you're happy, you should actually be happy. You know.
Yeah.
When you're sad, I guess I can understand why they say that, because like when other people are depressed around you, it affects other people's moods.
Yeah.
But
True.
but if let's say if they're depressed about something like very tragic, like a family member passed away, then it's not their job to be happy around you. It's your job to console the person.
Yeah, to help that person.
Make them be happy.
Yeah, but if they're depressed about like something stupid, like, oh, I lost my shoe or something.
Right.
I mean, if it's not expensive, like, I guess. I mean,
like they lost their slipper.
It's just an example. Like, if it's something so small and you're so depressed about it, it's not other people's fault that they don't like that you're depressed around them. You know what I mean? It's because you're sad about something so stupid and something you can buy again, a slipper from like NTUC.
$5 slipper.
$2 slipper.
$2 slipper.
My precious slipper from childhood.
From
Who the hell keeps slipper from childhood?
They kept it in their room for like
The same
like
size.
10 years. From when they were babies or what?
What the?
So I guess for me, one main thing, at least in Singapore, that led to people being depressed is pretty much the education in Singapore. The stresses that it imposes on students.
Very tough.
It's, I guess, you can understand why Singapore, the education system is very tough, because we want to catch up with the rest of the world. But the fact that they set the exam so hard, I mean, back then it was easier. Now it's getting harder and harder and harder.
True.
And you can see why in Singapore there's an increasing trend of suicides.
Yeah, true.
In students in Singapore, and what I guess, I don't want to be political about it, but I think what other people like just say, oh, why not just study harder, or why not just get over it. It is something in Singapore, when you fail, your life is altered in such a huge way.
And it happens so early on, like in primary school.
Yeah, especially in primary school when you're doing your PSLE.
Oh,
The primary school
I
living
hate
examinations.
PSLE.
Just because of that.
Yeah.
The maths is disgustingly hard.
And imagine the maths now for them.
Yeah, and oh my god, I don't know how to even help my kid in future.
Worse. Oh my
It's
God.
gonna be worse.
I mean, I feel bad for them, but in today's like technology is. I guess education is advancing at a rapid pace.
Yeah.
In order to catch up with the rest of the world, you have to like increase your standards of.
Yeah, we have to get up there with them.
Yeah.
You know.
But they did it so fast and so aggressively that it affects the whole of the youth in Singapore. That makes them depressed and eventually killing themselves, committing suicide, which is something that's not really something you should do, especially for young children.
True. Then other than that, like when it comes to studying, you know, some parents are. I'm going back to parenting.
She's always going back to parenting.
I'm sorry. I mean, when it comes to education, right? You know, everyone lives with a family, a pair of parents, siblings, no siblings, don't care. It's more of like, because kids nowadays, we are going through a lot when it comes to studying, and teachers expect a lot from the children, even parents expect a lot from the children, and it's not nice if the parents actually demotivate them. And that's where, like, okay, in school you're stressed out already, and then you come home, for example, okay, this kid is expected to get an A for maths, then he got an A, but because of one mistake, then he comes back home, he knows that he's going to get scolded by his parents because of that. And that's like the stress coming in again. And then when you showed, like the kid just showed the parent just scolds them because they didn't get 100 marks. I saw that scene in like internet, I forget where, but I saw it and I'm like, yo, that's an A that you wanted, but
you think that it doesn't happen in Singapore, but it does.
It does, guys.
You know, like for me too, in primary school I used to get like 99 out of 100 and all that. And then not sure enough, but
okay.
But then when I get home, my dad's just like, why not 100?
Yeah, see, that's the stress that parents give to the children, and you get very traumatized about it. And I don't know, it's scary to see that. Like some parents, although their kids are like, they only get 50, just pass, and then they're like, okay, it's okay, you can do better. Then I think that's more motivating lah. But knowing that you only get like 99 over 100, and because of that one mark, and you get scolded for it, and it's like, you should like really say, oh, you did a great job and all that. You can keep studying lah. And then obviously
there's always a next time.
There's always a next time you get 100. So like, to me, oops, sorry, table. To me, it's like, it's to be motivated. Like, you as a parent, you have to be very motivating to your children. That's how they get off from their stress. Yeah, that's to me, in my opinion lah. Yeah. So yes, you guys.
I guess that's much more to like parents from before. You know what I mean? Like from the past. Nowadays, since millennials are starting to become parents, you know. I think the generation of parents nowadays is pretty much, they're more lenient towards the matter.
They're more understanding.
They're more understanding. But there are still some people.
There are some parents who are like that.
Not all of them, but there are mostly some. Most of them are pretty much more lenient nowadays. An A is an A. They don't see 99 over 100. They see an A is an A. You know.
And then you're like, oh, you did a great job.
Yeah.
And
which is fantastic.
Love those kind of people. I'm like,
which helps students not get so depressed.
Yes. That's why you have to be motivating, guys. Did you see me rapping just now?
Rapping?
That's why you have to be motivating next time.
Oh, damn. Damn. Could battle Eminem right here. Okay. Going back to the topic, I guess since we've defined and talked a little bit about depression and how society, we didn't really talk about how society nowadays causes other people to be depressed. Mainly about education, but let's talk about how depression can lead to someone taking their own lives. Which, this is not something people actually talk about, but here in the podcast we do talk about it because nobody talks about it.
We're not like other podcasts.
Yeah. it's
Where do I point?
it's important that we talk about it actually.
Right, yeah.
We need to create awareness for it. And if you guys are feeling having suicidal tendencies, don't be afraid to step up and ask people for help, because there are people who want to help you. Some of the people are just assholes. Just look for the good ones. And if you really don't have anyone to talk to, just call up the suicide hotline. They will help you. They will calm you down. They will give you, I guess, suggestions or ways to live a happier life or something. There's always someone you can talk to. Don't worry about that. You can also talk to us if you want. I mean, through an email, like.
Hey!
Formal email, please.
Don't be too demanding.
Too demanding, Asyraf.
Okay.
So let's talk about that. How can depression lead to suicide?
Suicide. Oh my gosh.
The topic today very deep.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
well.
like okay. Obviously, personally, like we don't. I'm pretty sure the three of us don't really have that thought of killing ourselves.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
Asyraf sometimes do.
we can't really say anything because we don't know what people
Feel
and what they are going through. And to me, like, I really need to research on this. Like,
Ignorant.
Actually, it's hard to research it on.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
It's all about the inside, right?
Yeah, because
true.
depression is such a big topic that
Yeah.
everyone has their own opinions about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. To me, like, okay, if let me structure my
That's
sentence.
rapping,
first.
man.
Alright.
That's rapping. That's rapping. Okay, like to me, when it comes to like you going to the point where you gonna have a suicide, it's probably because like
She said have a suicide, like it's having a baby. Like I'm having a
I'm
suicide.
having a suicide.
hey, like I don't know. Okay, sometimes I really want to know what's going through their minds. Like every time I see the news, I really want to know why, like what they're going through.
Yeah, what led them to feel
What
that way, right?
led them feeling that way, and what's the cause of it. And like every time I see the news, it's always about like, oh, because of the academics, because of like, it's usually the academics to be
Yeah.
very honest. I'm like, what is the parents doing? To be very honest, what are you doing? You know, and then that's like the only thing in my mind lah. And
Yeah.
when it comes to suicide, it's really to the point where you really cannot take it anymore and you really want to take your
Yeah.
own life. And that's the saddest part lah. And I don't want to see anyone going through that mindset where, oh, I can't live with this anymore. I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
And that's the part I'm like, no. Girl, boy, whoever you are, trans, lesbian, anything, don't. Okay, you guys are humans. Okay. So like to me,
Moon is crying.
hey, I'm not crying. And you can see, I'm not crying.
It's not 4K. They can't see that. Okay, I'm sorry. Go on, Moon.
Yeah, so I think it's more of like towards the point that they really cannot take it anymore. Yeah, like all the stress, all the pressure from family, friends, anyone lah.
I think it's to the point where they think that if they die, nothing will happen in the world.
Yeah.
I think that's a big telltale
Like nothing
where
will change, right?
people would like start feeling suicidal, you know.
Yeah.
I guess one for me how depression could lead. I think other than academics, people bullying would also
Yes.
lead them to like
oh
that
my
that
gosh.
edge to edge of just killing yourself. It does. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it doesn't happen that much anymore, but it does. It's just we don't see it anymore.
Yeah.
People do it now. Nowadays, people do it behind behind a computer screen or behind like a group of friends. You know, it's so easy for some of us to subconsciously bully other people, to insult their beliefs or whatever, to a point where they feel depressed and feel like no one's listening to them, which there are people who would listen to them and help them, but I'm not saying that I'm a bully. I'm just saying, for example, that I made it to a point where they don't have anywhere else to go, and they're pushed to an edge, and they just feel like maybe if I just kill myself, things will be better for the world, and they'll actually do it. And some people just hang themselves.
Right. It's like their last resort, like.
Yeah, and whenever I read something about that, it's not just about like social bullying or like I'm teasing you or whatever. It's also when it comes to like when people come out as gays or being a big transgender person, some people get bullied to a point where they'll kill themselves. And when I read stories like that, I just get so depressed. I mean, not
depressed.
It's like you empathize
You
with
lose
them.
your faith in humanity, basically.
It's not really lose faith in humanity. It's just why would you bully someone to a point where they would think of killing themselves in the first place? You're a human being. That the person you're bullying is a human being. Why would you make them kill themselves?
Like people lack empathy in that sense. Or sometimes, like
it's just so sad to read, to listen to those kind of stories, and I'm always like, I'm here having a good life, and like they're suffering from this torment, and it just shows that I'm privileged.
Sheltered,
Shows that the three of us are privileged. We don't feel such things. Those bullying things, those things don't happen to us.
Yeah. Why isn't Mashita here? Where is she? Hello.
Right, she would be the perfect.
She would be the
Yeah.
perfect person to actually talk about this. Why do we think she's the perfect person even?
Yeah,
She might not experience it, but she might. That's the thing. She has a lot
She
of
might be
opinions.
depressed, but we never know. Because
Exactly why.
nowadays people just hide it,
Right.
Yeah, true. Mashita, what do you think about depression?
No, she's hiding.
Okay, right. I think depression is a state of mind.
Okay. That's such a bad impersonation of Mashita. I'm
bad.
so
Oh my god.
disappointed.
I mean,
How about you
the
try
real
it? How about you try that, huh?
No.
Why not? It's your best
She
friend.
always do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, she makes that face.
I pity the people who are watching, listening
I'm sorry.
from the Spotify and not like.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, those people who listen through Spotify. I'm sorry, you have no visuals.
God.
But if you watch through YouTube, you can see every single thing
Yep.
we're doing. We drink, we clap, we everything.
And you can give us views.
Yay.
Okay, so Asyraf, what's your opinion? How
So
can
for me-
depression lead?
I think it's a very simple formula. You depressed.
E is equals to MC square.
Yes, something like that.
Wow.
Damn.
You're depressed, no hope, and so it leads to suicide. But on a more serious note, I think like
On the most serious note, but you're smiling like.
Exactly. He always does.
on the more serious note, depression, just like he said, just like Syazwan said, you feel cornered, like you have nowhere to go, and so you feel like the only resort is to take your own life, right? I actually have a bit of a story, and yes,
Finally, nothing from Reddit.
Wait, a personal story?
Yes, not for me, but my friend.
Oh, okay. At
Yeah.
least not from Reddit. I
Okay,
guess.
at least it's not from Reddit.
I actually got this from Singapore. So my friend, back in secondary school, I had this guy who I considered like my really close friend lah, like my best friend. He was from primary school, and basically at some point we cut contact for some reason now, and it was abrupt because we we spoke to each other every day, and so suddenly he stopped speaking to me, and I was like wondering like why. So like I figured he was just off studying for his O levels or something like that lah, because he's a really studious person. And so about like later on in the year, when we're done with our exams, he finally spoke to me.
Stop. I was focused.
Right. He spoke to me at the end, and that was when he told me everything that happened to him lah. And basically, he had a little depressing phase, and so he attempted suicide. And because of that, he was admitted into IMH and for a few months, and that's why he didn't speak to me.
Did he tell you why?
Yeah, it was a personal issue because of his friends lah. Like they started.
Is it like peer pressure?
Yeah, they started like ostracizing him, and like his best friend kind of cheated him, and
wait, what?
Because he had another friend at school, and
it's primary school.
No, secondary school lah.
Secondary school.
And and his friend like started hating him.
Hating him?
Yeah, and like for some reason like really, he was all alone lah there, basically in his own school. And so since we don't actually speak to each other physically, just online, I couldn't really help much, and I feel bad about that lah, because I couldn't like support him there. So like I think the moral story is like anyone can be depressed, and like you shouldn't mistreat any like your friends and stuff, because one thing can lead to another, and you should always assume the worst case scenario lah.
The butterfly effect.
Yeah, right.
Ooh, the butterfly effect.
Nice.
Ooh.
Damn.
Applying science.
How is that science?
Yeah.
No, it's not science. Okay.
What do you think butterfly effect
It's a complicated scientific theory about the domino effect, huh? Never mind then.
You know, I learned the butterfly effect from this game called Until Dawn. That was the one. I'm like, what the heck is butterfly effect? And then I played the game, although it was super slow, the game, because you walk super slowly. But I'm like, oh, so this is the butterfly effect. Cool. And then I start to like try things. And then like, I want to know the ending.
Oh my god. So that is how Munirah found out what the butterfly effect is. Yeah. So going back to the topic.
Oh yes.
I mean, you don't have to. It's depressing, but you don't have to like feel so like how to say hate yourself for it, because you didn't know. Because you just cut contact with you.
There wasn't any way I could contact him anyway.
Were you guys like in different schools?
Yeah, completely different school lah.
Like really far apart or like?
Yeah.
So you were like online friends lah?
Yeah, we just spoke together on Steam and all that.
Of course.
Basically, yeah.
Of course. Where else? Reddit? It's too young for that.
I didn't even know what Reddit was.
I don't even know what Reddit is until he told me about Reddit. I'm like, oh, okay, what the heck is
Since
Reddit?
then, Moon is on Reddit, right?
No, I never went.
I'm glad to
to
have recruited someone. Finally.
To be very honest, I didn't know my boyfriend even like read from Reddit. I'm
He
like,
does. What a man of culture.
Excuse me?
Unlike some of you.
What does that make me, huh?
hey.
Okay, let's from that, right? Let's talk about what we can do, what you could have done. Let's say you knew that it was happening to your friend. What could you have done for him?
What could I have done? I would be there for him lah. Yeah.
I was expecting a long explanation, like what I'm gonna do, explanation. What I'm gonna do, explanation.
Justify your answers.
Yeah, and then he's like, I will be there for you. Full stop.
I'll march over there to his house, grab his hand, and
like, don't kill yourself.
and spend time with him. Basically, I would treasure him lah, because like he's always been someone that's precious to me lah. A really close friend. Yeah, I know. And so I would feel really lost if he really gone and done it. I'm glad his parents stopped him in time lah.
Yeah.
Imagine being a parent seeing your child.
Oh god, that would be terrible. So like, if I could help him, I would just make sure I never leave his side lah.
I mean,
Hey, don't you
I
go
would handcuff him to me.
you're gonna shower with me too.
Oh my god.
Just so that he doesn't attempt suicide.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't go that far.
Hi. That was an awkward transition. What happened?
So what happened was there was these two uncles, pakcik, abangs, who came into the room without knocking. It was rude, but it's okay.
Yeah, so we had to stop for a while and re-record. Yeah, not re-record the whole thing.
It's just...
We continue.
They interrupted us.
Okay.
How dare they?
Before we end up... Actually, we are at the end of the podcast. But before we end the podcast, let's talk about what we can do to help our friends who feel depressed and have suicidal tendencies. You've already answered, Asyraf. What about you, Munirah?
I do just like Asyraf, but not like 24/7 stick with that person, but like when
Be with me.
like just an incident back when I have my friends. Back when I had my friends.
Now you don't have friends anymore.
No, I mean like my friends in my friends. She was going through this breakup phase, and the ex-boyfriend was really like couldn't get over it lah, and he was very aggressive to her, like call her every time, although they broke up already.
God, clingy.
Yeah, very clingy, couldn't get over her. So she was really depressed because of that. Every time, although they broke up, they fight still, and she cries every single time they fight. And then she couldn't take it.
Damn.
To the point that although I wasn't the one that, I'm not really close to her, but like the whole of my other friends know, and people who are closer to her know what happened more than I do, because I'm just the bystander. So I heard that she almost wanted to take her own life. She even did it like on her wrist, like you know how people normally do. What my friends actually helped help her.
Appalachia.
What they did to help her was that every time she feel like she wants to kill herself, like just spam call her. Like really just spam call until even if it's at 3 a.m. just spam call until one of us picks up. Yeah, and that's like I think although it's like maybe to some people it's like attention seeking, but it's more of like she really needs help and she can't go to anyone else except for her friends. Yeah, so I think that's one way, not just us, but because the thing is we don't go through it, she goes through it, and we don't know what she's thinking, and whenever she feels that way she have to call us, she needs to call us, she must call us, so that we can help her, because she knows that we will help her anyway. So I think that's a good way lah to really like help someone. And it's best to always have someone who's really close to you and who supports you a lot. Yeah, I think if I actually have that kind of friend, I would do the same thing also. Yeah.
Yeah, from what I heard, like it's not good to be too pushy. Like with people that are depressed, you have to like treat them tenderly, be nice to them, just treat them normally as you would treat anyone else, except because the problem is that they don't have that comfort from their daily life. So you give them that comfort, you be there for them when they need you lah. Right.
Whoa, that's deep. Okay.
I mean,
yeah,
it's true.
in person.
It's like, the thing is, for people who don't go through it at that point of time, we don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
So they really need to speak to us, but we can't force them to really speak to us. They need time to like.
They need to be ready,
They really need to be ready to talk. Yeah.
They need to open up slowly lah.
Yeah, slowly.
Especially when you face something tragic, you need time to process it.
Process, calm down, and like, okay, this is what happened. If I ever do this, like if I ever want to kill myself, I will call you or something like that. Always find someone who really, like, who's really there for you lah. That's probably the best, like, not solution, but like
it's
way.
An
ideal way to really help someone. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I guess for me, what you said was, it's also a good way to help to get people from like killing themselves, and yours pretty invasive of privacy.
Shower with me.
Called aggressive.
One suicidal thought like in their bedroom like 24 hours. I guess for me, when I see someone depressed, I'm not saying like suicidal yet, but I see someone depressed, I would like go up to them and ask if everything's okay. I mean, of course, not everything's okay. Then why would they be depressed? Like? Right. But we always start with that. Start the conversation like that. Are you okay? We always try, because for me, when I see someone depressed, you don't know what they would do when they push your limit. Even though they are one of your good friends, you wouldn't know what they would actually do when they push to the limit. So that's why when I see someone depressed, I always try to, like I shall tenderly console them, like see what's going on, what can I do to help ease the pain or the confusion or whatever. And if after talking for a while and realize that maybe this guy is being pushed to a point where he has nowhere to go, I would be there for him lah. But I'm not going to be there for him like 24/7. It's not realistically possible.
You're not as
I'm not
as close to them as me. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not. I mean, even if it's one of my best friends in the world, I wouldn't be there 24/7. I'm always a phone call away, but I'm not going to physically be there every time. Because even though like if someone's depressed or suicidal, you still have a life to live. I don't want to sound like an asshole by saying that, but you still have a life to. You still have some things to do, to live a life. But then at the same time, you still have a friend who's suicidal and like you don't know what to do. So that's why.
That's me 24/7. I'm like, oh shoot. What am I supposed to do?
Life's what am I supposed to do?
That's the con of being like you've never been depressed before.
Yeah.
No, not being depressed before. It's like more of like because your depression is not as bad as the people who's going through it because you know how to go through it yourself. But to the point where it can become suicidal. That's the point where like oh shoot, what am I supposed to do? Like, how am I gonna help this person? Like, all I can ask is like, so how are you?
Yeah, like you don't know how to function.
Yeah, I like you like. That's me every time.
If it were me, I was the same question, but I would try to get to the root of the problem. Like, what is the source of this depression or these thoughts? But of course, sometimes people don't want to share this kind of details, so I wouldn't be pushy like what Asyraf said. But if you're depressed and you feel like you want to like kill yourself, try to talk to someone, even if it's like going to be a depressing conversation. Talk to someone who is willing to talk like heart to heart with you, not someone who just wants to be positive or like to be happy all the time, which is a fake thing lah. You know. Don't be afraid to share your opinions. No opinions lah. Don't be afraid to share your thoughts like. What you've been going through, because there are people who actually care about you. Don't hide yourself from them, because if you do, then you're the one who's making yourself feel like you got nowhere else to go instead of other people. And if you're a parent, well, we're always going back to parents. If you're a parent, try not to push your child, especially when you see them trying like losing their appetite or they feel like they lock themselves in the room like 24/7, or they feel they're always not smiling, or whenever they smile they always do it fake, like in a fake manner. Sit down with a child, your son or your daughter, whatever. A dog also can, whatever lah. Trying to lighten up.
Dogs have depression?
Who knows? Maybe. Just sit down with your child and have a heart-to-heart conversation. I mean, you're his parent, of course you should have heart-to-heart conversation with him or her. So maybe that's another way people could help other people who have depression and suicidal thoughts. That's parents. And of course most people don't have the luxuries, because some parents, they don't see that kind of thing. They just want to see the best of the children. But even if that's the case, don't be afraid to talk to your parents. Even if their parents are willing to talk about it, and like I said just now, talk to your friends also, and try to get help. If you live in Singapore, there's a hotline that you can call, 1-800-221-4444. It'll be on the screen on YouTube if you guys wanna. If you have any suicidal thoughts, if you feel like you're killing yourself. you feel like killing yourself, you can, if you can't find anyone else to talk to, just give them a call. I'm pretty sure they're gonna let you be anonymous. I'm pretty sure they can let you do that.
They respect your privacy, so yeah, I'm pretty sure they would help lah.
Yeah, so if you guys need help, just phone them up, just call them up.
Phone them up,
just call them up, and just talk about what you're facing, and don't be afraid to share every single bit of details, because those bits of detail might help other people to help you. So yeah, anything else to say?
I think one thing you have to remember is that you're not the first person to have faced this issue. People have faced this issue and they've gotten over it. Just because you have it doesn't mean that it's how you're gonna live for the rest of your life. Eventually you'll come to an end lah. Like you just have to tough it out for now, and eventually I promise like it'll get better lah.
Yeah, time does heal a broken heart. Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, time does heal.
I'm sorry.
But if you still feel like you need someone to talk to, find someone to talk to. So, Munirah, any last things to say? Just stare at the mic. Just stare at the mic.
I mean, like, I wanted to say what Asyraf said, but
I win.
It's competition.
Yeah.
Why is this a competition all of a sudden?
Who gives the best advice?
Like, really just, although it's hard to talk about it, like, if you really need someone, if you think you're gonna go through suicidal phase, just talk to
her.
No, not talk to me. No. Just talk to someone who you think can really help you. If you really think, like Asyraf said, if you really think you cannot like go to anyone, just call the hotline. Really, like I hope and I will not unsure. Wait.
What are you talking about?
What?
Wait. I hope that those people who go through suicidal phase to really like calm down and not really take their own life. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna say it's a dumb thing to do, but it's like, it's really something that I don't think anyone else in this world want to see. And it's really painful to see someone going through something that actually other people who really can help you. Yeah. So
yeah, watching depressed people makes you depressed. We're here making jokes about depression, but it's a serious matter.
Yeah,
we are very sorry for this.
We're just trying to lighten
We're
the
just
mood,
ignorant people. Give us a break.
We're assholes.
Yeah.
Alright, so I
I'm
guess
not.
Speak for yourself.
Little Miss Perfect over here.
Hey, stop!
Okay, I guess that's the wrap. Let's wrap up.
That's the wrap.
That's
Kebab wrap. Sorry.
That's it for today's podcast. I know it's shorter than usual, but I mean, it's still 40 minutes, around 50 minutes, but still.
Stop complaining.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Who's complaining?
Yeah, who's complaining?
So yeah, I guess that's it for today and this week in entirety. I'll see you guys. So we'll see you guys next week on the Talk of the House. Are we really gonna do that the whole every episode?
Why not? Why are you complaining now?
Okay, bye.
Bye.